cool as a cucumber.
Welcome to the Prisoner to Painter podcast, stories of inspiration, where we talk about mental health, addiction, religion, becoming a business owner and self-sufficient, for what, when, where, and why. Join us and we can be your local hope dealer.
Inspiration and dedication. I came a long way from sleeping in them cages. I got my life back. I feel amazing. Life's a book, don't get stuck on sad pages. Rainy days with no money. Hard work leads to days that are sunny. Looking back, it was all needed. The problems, the pain, the trauma, the grieving. You are now tuned into the prisoner to painter. Prisoner to painter. Hard work, dedication. Rainy days, inspiration. Prisoner to painter.
And now, a word from your local hope dealer.
Off of that. More
Sure.
Yep. Welcome to the Prisoner to Painter podcast. I'm Nathan McDermott.
I'm Katie McDermott.
And today joining us is Judge Goostery.
How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
How are you?
Very good. Very excited to be here today.
Thank you for coming on.
Yes.
It started off super slow doing this. I think people call it wind and really are trying to see what we're trying to do. And it's trickled bigger and bigger people. And now I find you were the golden goose.
I don't know
man.
about that.
You were the no pun intended. You were. I was like, once I get Judge Goostery on, I'm happy, man.
Well, I
happy.
appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Awesome.
I'll tell you, it's sure a lot nicer to see you this way.
Thank you.
I agree.
Well, I do want to tie how I know you into this, but that'll be when we get to you being
Sure.
a judge, I'm sure.
Sure.
So, what was your childhood like? Where were you born and raised?
Born and raised Jackson, Michigan.
Awesome.
Grew up in the East Jackson area. Lived on a 5-acre plot and surrounded by farmland, and maybe 8-9 families lived on our road, and it was kind of you go out in the summertime when the sun comes up and you don't come home till it gets dark.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Type of life. It was a lot of hunting, a lot of fishing, a lot of stuff like that.
Awesome. What was your family dynamic like? Brothers, sisters, anything?
I have an older sister. I have a younger sister and a younger brother. So there was 4 of us. My parents, perfect. I mean, just hardworking blue collar family.
Awesome. What did mom and dad do for work?
So my father owns Superior Industrial Sales downtown. Been in business since 1944.
Wow.
My grandfather started the company. So dad had to take that over when he was about 18. His dad had a stroke, and my dad really didn't get to go to college. He wanted to.
Gotcha.
But he had to take over the family business. So he had a younger brother and sister, and an older sister who was married and working with her husband in their company up in Dansville. And so dad basically had to take it over, and then slowly they all came in and they ran it together. Now it's run by my younger brother and my brother-in-law.
Nice. We normally don't read off comments, but Naptown, so I'm guessing with a D as his profile picture, I'm guessing it's Pittman. Awesome judge and a pretty good golfer.
Well, Dwayne's a pretty good golfer too. We had the pleasure of golfing together last weekend at a big charity fundraiser for 2 days. And while he was not on my team and his team played together for 2 days, and we had a lot of fun.
Awesome. What was mom and dad's name?
My dad's name is Charles, Chuck. My mom is Jean.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
What was your favorite cereal?
Captain Crunch.
Oh, man.
Like normal Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't like the roof of your mouth is the joke.
That's
we
right.
always
That's
make.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like a glutton for pain. Oh, man. What schools did you go to?
So started at East Jackson and was there until 7th grade. This was back in the Stone Ages,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm just gonna set this up. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
in 79, East Jackson couldn't pass a millage. They just could not get a millage passed.
Mhm.
They tried multiple times, and the budget was so bad they started cutting everything. My sister was a freshman in high school going into her sophomore year, and she was taking AP classes, and everything was cut. We were both in band. That was cut. So my parents basically said, well, you're going to Michigan Center.
Okay.
And this was like a week before school was supposed to start. So they transferred us to Michigan Center, and I ended up graduating from Michigan Center High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go to school with any people like, I don't know why this name came to mind, Michigan Center, I think it's Officer Jacobson, well now Captain Jacobson. Did you guys happen to go to school together?
No, we
Okay.
did not.
Okay, I'm just
I
curious.
think he's younger than I am.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he retired and came back, so I think
Yeah.
you might be
Yeah.
younger. I'm just gonna say that. Who was the most influential person in your life growing up?
My dad. For sure.
Okay.
Hardworking.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We didn't ask Nicole these because she kind of answered them without the question. What was your favorite childhood memory?
Wow. That's a hard one. I would say probably going deer hunting every year with my dad, my brother, and we would go for years and years and years. We went up to Everett, Michigan, which is north of Cadillac, and we would hunt on state land up there. We'd go up for a week, and just in camp out there and camper and stuff. And
Awesome.
that yeah, that's probably it.
Okay. Always on the reverse side of thing. What is your least favorite childhood memory?
That's a tough one too. Algebra class in high school.
I share a similar pain.
I enjoy math.
Yeah. I do
No.
not. I
do
don't
not
either. Oh man. Wow. Sorry, I lost my train. That was pretty funny. If you could go back to one day in history, can't change anything, just to observe, what day would it be and why?
And it could be any moment in
Sure.
time.
Yeah, it would be the 1980 Olympics when U.S. beat the Soviets.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That was probably
I'm a hockey freak, so yeah, that would have been something to see.
Yeah. No kidding, man.
Who's your team?
I'm sorry?
Who's your hockey team?
Detroit Red Wings.
Okay.
I assumed, but I didn't.
I was hoping you didn't say Bruins.
Oh, no.
Or Penguins.
Well, my daughter lives in Boston, so she's still a Wings fan, but she does go to Bruins games. So.
Well, I guess they're a good runner. Actually, they're probably after we fell out of the playoffs, 26 years in a row,
Yeah.
the Bruins are on 31. I
Yeah.
guess they do have us beat in that anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So went to East Jackson, but then you ended up going to Michigan Center.
Correct.
Did you have a favorite teacher or subject or both?
Probably my English classes and the college writing classes that I took. Favorite teacher, I liked all my teachers, but probably the favorite person I had in high school was the principal, Mr. Hempel.
Okay.
He was just stand-up guy, a former Marine, didn't play games, but he just taught me a lot about being a man.
Yes, sir. Awesome. We asked Nicole this in the future. I keep going back to that because at first we just started with a couple of questions.
Yeah,
sure.
And so trial and error. We asked her in the future, but I think I'm going to ask you as a kid because or back in your childhood. People know Judge Goostery as a fair judge. You know you from a band. They know you now. Was there anything you were a prisoner of in your
Yes.
childhood?
Or even,
Yeah, I was actually pretty shy.
Okay.
It took me a long time to not be afraid to speak my mind.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still fighting that myself. Yeah. Yes,
Was
sir.
it like specifically social settings, or was it just like a general shyness, like even at home you were kind of?
Oh, no, not at home. It was social settings, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Did you play sports?
Yes.
Football?
Football,
Yeah.
baseball.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you guys ever go anywhere? Like state or anything? I
We
don't
did
know.
not.
Okay.
Let's see, my freshman year, no, my sophomore year, I played junior varsity. Mark Schneider was the quarterback that year for the varsity team. He was a senior. They had just an outstanding team. We got moved up for the last couple of games, and we made a run. I think I don't know back then what they called it, whether it was regionals or, and we got beat by, was it? What was Hudson?
Oh, geez.
Man, they were tough.
Oh,
They had just come
Cornstalk.
off like I don't remember what it was, but it was like they had like a 20-year streak of,
Jeez.
never losing. And
Well, there's some big boys
they
out
were a
there.
buzzsaw. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Man. When did the law ever cross your mind? Like I want to get into well, actually service is what it sounds like too, but
Well, I took a kind of a winding route to become a lawyer.
okay.
I originally went to college. Well, I started at Jackson College. My wife now, who was my girlfriend at the time, we had been dating since high school. We met in high school.
High school sweethearts. No
Yes.
kidding.
Yep.
Awesome.
And she wanted to be a teacher. So she got her associates she's, sorry, honey, older than me. So she was already in college when I was still in high school, just a year apart.
Gotcha.
I started working, going to school part-time after I graduated. I was working full-time at my father's company. I had no clue what I wanted to do. I had no clue whatsoever. And my dad, I'd go to him for advice, say, hey, I'm not sure what to do, Dad. And his answer was basically, look, you can do anything you want to do, because he never got the choice.
Yep.
So he kind of ticked me off. I was waiting. It would have been really easy for him to just push me into the company business.
Mhm.
Yep.
And no questions asked. And I probably would have done it willingly.
Mhm.
But he said, no, you go do whatever you want to do. So there was a time period of just trying to figure out what the heck did I want to do. So I went for a year part-time at Jackson College. My wife by that time had graduated from Jackson College and was heading to Eastern. Well, I followed her.
Okay.
So because that's the only reason I went to college. I was like, well, if she's going, I'm going.
Yeah.
So went to college. Thought I liked accounting. I did a semester of that one. No way. And so I switched my major to aviation.
Really?
Yes. And so I did, went to Eastern Michigan University. A lot of my academic courses were taken there. And then in the summer times, I would fly at Jackson College. They had a flight program at Jackson College.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so I became a pilot. After I graduated, I taught at Jackson College for 2 years
Okay.
as a flight instructor. And then I got hired by Patrick Petroleum in Jackson for their flight department. And so I flew, I was one of the pilots. There were 2 pilots. I was the co-pilot on the jet. But we had a King Air, we had a Learjet, Beach Baron, and a Piper Navajo. I know you probably don't know what those airplanes are.
That's cool.
A couple of small twin engine airplanes, a big twin engine airplane, and a jet.
Gotcha.
So we flew for the oil company, but then he also owned the IndyCar race team. So
Cool.
flew for the IndyCar team too. So yeah,
What made you not knowing what you want to do? That's a heck of a thing to fall into. Let's say. What made you pursue aviation? You had to have something in your head. No.
I don't know. It was crazy because no one in our family flew, nothing like that. It was the furthest thing. I think my parents probably thought I was crazy. But yeah, so I started doing that, and I thought, yeah, this is what I really want to do. Ultimately, to become an airline pilot is what I wanted. And then while I was working for the Patrick Petroleum, they had a tuition assistant so I started working on a master's degree, and then one day I had a chat with the owner, Patrick, and we were talking just about, he was asking me, you really want to be a pilot, the rest of your life? There's other things you can do. And we got talking, and he encouraged me to maybe look at some other stuff. He said, because, there's a lot more money to be made in other areas. And I wasn't sure, so I applied to law school while I was working for them with the thought, well, heck, I'll go part-time and have them pay for it. Yeah. Then the oil business went into the tank, and they sold all the airplanes, closed the flight department. Oh, geez. So I was, a week before we're supposed to go on vacation, and so I was out of a job.
So kind of pushed your hand a little bit.
Yeah, and so I was out of a job, so I applied to a small carrier. Back then it was called SkyWest out of Utah. And that's the only answer I got back. They offered me a job for a whopping $15,000 a year.
Oh,
wow.
And you had to buy your uniform.
Oh, gee. Cheap.
And so I laughed.
Yeah.
We had just bought a house, and my wife had already been teaching about 6 years. And I'm like, I'm not packing up and going to do that.
15 grand.
Yeah. So like a week later, I got an acceptance to law school.
Wow.
And instead of part-time, I called them up and I said, can I switch to full-time? And they're like, sure, you start in 5 weeks. And so, yeah, I started law school.
did you maintain your pilot's license?
I still have them. Yeah.
Do you fly?
No, number one, to keep the jet rating is absurdly expensive to keep that. But I still have my commercial pilot's license. I could go take a refresher course, which really consists of getting updates on the regulations, do some takeoffs and landings, and you're good to go. But I've always been the opinion, if you're going to fly, you have to fly at least 3 or 4 days a week to be safe. And I'm not going to be a smoking hole somewhere.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What was your first job? Was it at your dad's place, or did you?
Yeah, I was about 9 years old. Yeah, sweeping floors, cleaning toilets,
Yes,
things
sir.
like that.
Yep.
And so that kind of elevated into wrenching on heavy equipment. It did that for in the summers and stuff like that, and then moved into the parts department, selling whether it's parts for forklifts or tractors or whatnot.
Gotcha.
That kind of stuff. Yeah.
All right. Man, so you had 2 careers under your belt before you became a lawyer, or before you went into law school.
Correct.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part about flying?
Speed was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd come back, because we did a lot of flying for Penske too, even though they have, they probably had 10 pilots and 5 jets, but they were flying so much. Him and Patrick were best friends. We would do a lot of overflow for Roger Penske. So we would drop his people off in Pontiac, and then we'd fly back to Jackson, and we could be in Jackson in 9 minutes from Pontiac.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the fun
cool.
part.
Yeah.
And I've been everywhere,
Was there any scary landing or scary takeoff that rings in your head?
Wow.
Okay.
We were landing at Pontiac one night. It was a bad ice storm, and we were somewhere out over at Nashville, and we're talking to air traffic control, and they're starting to shut airports down. Cleveland was being shut down. Metro was shut down. They were going to keep Pontiac open for us. And so we got there. Now Pontiac is an east-west runway, okay? And so we were landing going east, and it was freezing rain. And, you know, you land in a Learjet, you probably land at about 120, 130 miles an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And as we touched down, everything's fine. But then there was a crosswind coming out of the north. Well, the Learjet has a huge tail on it, and
Yeah.
that wind caught the tail. And so we touched down, and the airplane starts going sideways. So the pilot is, you know, trying to work the rudders, and I'm jockeying the throttles, trying to straighten us up. Well, by that time, we've run out of runway to take back off.
Jeez.
So we were just along for the ride. So we just shut everything down and ran into a snowbank.
Oh,
Hey, that'd have been enough for me to not
Yeah,
fly.
my
in
leg
this.
was shaking when it was all said and done. But yeah,
Man, so I know I've already said it once, but I'll say it again. People know Judge Goostery. People probably don't know you as well. Even I have been guilty of putting you on a pedestal, Jordan on a pedestal.
never on a pedestal.
I've been guilty of that though. Almost forgetting you guys are people. How would you describe who you were as a young adult as a pilot? Cocky, arrogant, or a good guy to be around? How would you describe yourself?
I don't think I've ever been cocky.
Okay.
Sure, you know, you try to portray yourself as sure of yourself,
Mhm.
but I mean, I was flying jets at 23 years old.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you feel like an imposter.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
am I qualified to do this? Even though they sent me to school and,
Yeah.
you know, down to jet school and stuff, it was just like, yeah.
I get it.
I think that's a commonality of the human experience is like you work so hard and you finally attain something and then you're like, I don't feel like I'm supposed to be doing this right now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that is a trend I've noticed with, I thought it was just me. They call it imposter syndrome.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
I'm finding out that's, like she just said, that is in almost everybody's story that we've
Right.
interviewed. Everybody has suffered at it at one point in time. So
Yeah.
I don't know, just when I think of a pilot, the way they portray them on movies is why I asked if you were
Oh.
cocky or, you know, because they kind of portray them a little like, I guess arrogant really is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, maybe if I was an airline pilot, it would have been different, but being a corporate pilot, you know, I mean, you know, you got to clean the airplane afterwards.
Okay.
You got to load the bag.
You don't have a huge.
It keeps
group
you
of all
humble,
that,
then.
yeah.
It keeps you humble. What law school did you go to?
Cooley in Lansing.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That seems to be a growing trend too, after a lot of people we've
Cooley is a unique law school. Unlike Michigan,
Hmm.
where you have to, you know, perfect grades in school are damn near perfect.
yeah.
Well, damn near perfect score on the LSAT, which is the law school entrance examination. You know, they are very selective who they pick.
Mhm.
The thing I liked about Cooley is their whole premise was, we're going to give you the opportunity to be an attorney, but you have to prove you can stay.
Understood.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think 400 people started in my class and we graduated maybe 150.
Wow.
That many people either flunked out or dropped out
Gotcha. Okay.
because it was that first year of law school is hell.
Care to elaborate a little more?
It's just, you know, you think of normal studying
Mhm.
like you did in high school or
Yeah.
stuff like that, or even college. Studying in law school is way different. You have to relearn how to actually study the material, because essentially the way you learn the law is your books are essentially important cases throughout, you know, like the constitutional cases.
Yep.
They're all constitutional cases. You don't read, you read the case.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Paper Chase.
No, sir.
It's about the first year of law school.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I gotta get a drink of water here, of course. It's about the first year of law school. And in one of the scenes, it's a contracts case, the professor, it's called the Socratic method of learning. Basically, you have a room full of people, let's say 100 plus people, and you had better have read the material ahead of time, you know, right? And the first day, professor walks in, calls your name. Mr. McDermott, please stand and tell us about the case of Hawkins versus McGee.
Okay.
And you have to recite the facts of the case.
Okay.
You have to talk about the arguments each side made, and you have to tell the professor what the rule of law is from that case.
Wow.
All while he's picking you apart.
Yeah.
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 So that was nerve-wracking to get used to that, and that continued all the way through law school.
Gotcha. So I clearly am not very familiar with the law, and I know we'll learn a little bit more. But like, it's interesting to me that the law, I don't want to say almost changes, but you get cases and the law does change, like Roe v. Wade or cases like that, that the law does. Do they just update the curriculum as laws like that change, or how does that work in law school?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, law school professors are great. I mean, they're so up on everything as far as any changes, things like that. Half of them are probably, writing briefs or arguing some of those cases that change.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I would assume that's what happened. And once I graduated, I didn't go, I'm not going to.
Understood. Was there a favorite class, I guess you'd call them? Was there a favorite class that you had?
I really liked the estate planning classes. That's what I did for a major part of my career before I became a judge. So that was really helpful in my career.
So you did like living wills, power of attorney stuff?
I did.
Well, and I know we're going to talk more about, it seems like you didn't have a conventional path as I've heard other judges. They go from lawyer to prosecutor to judge. It seems like you took a totally different path.
I never did criminal law.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I did a lot of corporate work too. So you would have the occasional corporate client whose kid got a drunk driving.
Yeah.
First offense, I handled things like that.
Gotcha.
But anything deeper than that, I would refer that stuff out to attorneys that's all they did.
Gotcha. Okay. And then how long do you have to go to law school for?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
a 3 year, unless you go part-time and then you could extend that, but 3 years is.
I don't know why anybody would want to extend all that studying, because you
Yeah.
study a lot.
Yes, you do.
Man. What's your favorite court ruling? Like a Roe v. Wade or something like that. I don't know if that's even a question to ask.
Yeah,
but-
I probably, and it goes way back, Brown versus Board of Education.
Mhm.
That overruled Plessy versus Ferguson.
Yep.
Basically, Plessy said separate but equal is okay. Brown said no.
Yep.
Separate but equal is not okay.
Okay.
In a nutshell, that's
Yeah.
Right.
And that goes back to segregation, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. That's wow, man. I already look at you as honorable, but that's awesome.
Does so there's that movie. Oh, I cannot remember the name of the movie. It's Kevin Spacey, or not Kevin Spacey. Kevin Costner with the women at NASA, and how she has to walk across the campus to go to the bathroom. And then, did that have any play into the segregation rulings?
I have no clue.
I was just
don't
curious.
know. I don't know.
Another question, because I feel like I've never asked this. Do you have to read the Constitution to become a judge? Or do you have to know it, or do you have to learn it in law school?
Well, you actually don't physically have to read it in law school, but you better have a copy of it.
Gotcha.
When you start referring to to things. You better kind of have a working idea of what's going on.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. It just seems like such a long time. It seems like a lot of information to take in for anybody. I mean that, and then now you have to rely on that information for the rest of your career.
Well, and the worst part is just because you graduate law school doesn't mean you're a lawyer yet. You still got to take the bar exam,
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
which is a 2-day
Don't
horrible test.
How many times can you take it? Because I know there's a limit.
I don't know. So when I took it, they've changed it a little bit. I'm not sure how it works now. There's 2 parts. Day 1 is 200 multiple choice questions, but the question could be a half a page long,
Mm-hmm.
and then each answer might be a paragraph long.
Jeez.
So, and it's timed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
That's day 1. Day 2 is essays, and you may get 10 questions, and the fact pattern in the question might be 4 pages long, and then you have to write your answer.
You have to cite, like, say you're arguing and you use another case as like an argument point. Do you have to cite it?
they're more concerned with the rule of law that you've come up with. You might have to cite a court rule, something like that, which you should know. But, to try to remember the physical site of a case, because you might remember the name, but, the rest of the citation would be, no. And then now they take it on computer. I don't know how they did that. Ours was all, fill in bubbles and then a blue book that you wrote in.
How was holding a marriage going through law school? Or were you guys married then, or were you dating? And
Yeah,
how
we
was
were
it?
married. We found out my wife was pregnant after my first semester of law school.
Okay.
So while we were very excited, we were very nervous too, because I was working 2 jobs, going to law school, and now we got a baby on the way.
Yep.
So
That's a lot.
yeah, that was a lot.
What were the 2 jobs? Because we get out
I
of
worked
aviation.
part-time for my dad.
Okay.
And actually, when I started law school, I got a job clerking in town
Oh, nice.
for a law firm. So I was a law clerk for Best Hines and Claren.
Okay.
And Judge Claren.
Yes, I do. Yep.
He was one of the partners at that firm. So I got a job there. I clerked with them all the way through law school, and they hired me after I graduated.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How old were you when you started law school and then when you finished law school?
Started law school in 1994. So that would have been, let's see, I was about 25, 26 when I started, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I maybe 27. Yeah, 27. And so I graduated. I was 30 years old when I finished.
Okay.
Well, seasons come and go. Who was the most influential person in your life at that time? 30 years old, you're right out of law school.
Well, there were a couple. Bob Best, who was senior partner at the law firm, taught me a ton. He's still alive.
Mhm.
He's retired now, but just one of the last of the gentleman attorneys.
Yes, sir.
He taught me a lot. Judge Schmucker, who used to be a partner at the firm that hired me,
Wow.
he became a judge. I came in like a year later to clerk for them. He was one of my mentors as an attorney, a young attorney, and then as a judge.
Awesome.
Even though he was no longer a judge, he was very, very instrumental.
Awesome. What came right after law, or not right after, but what career path did you take? You said,
So I started with Best Hines. That was all insurance defense.
Okay.
That's all we did. We defended insurance companies, for slip and falls, car accidents, medical malpractice, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Did that with them for about 5 years, and I started to really want to do estate planning stuff.
Mhm.
They didn't do that, but they encouraged me to, you want to build your own book of business, go ahead.
Okay.
So they really encouraged me to do it. So I reached out to some other local attorneys, Howard Patch, Jim Frang, Julius Hoffman, who recently passed away.
Oh.
And they all just took me under their wing, gave me, would send clients my way. Really got into that. And I started doing some corporate stuff too. And I had done a couple of deals with Kurt Parker. And one day out of the blue, he calls me up and says, "Hey, both my partners are retiring. Why don't you just come down here and me and you will work together?" And so I left Best Hines and went in with Kurt Parker, and we worked together for about 9 years together
Okay.
before I became a judge.
No kidding.
Yep.
It seems like working in the insurance field or representing insurance companies, seems like that could almost get more heated than criminal defense, because there's a lot of
Civil cases can get way more heated than criminal cases.
Okay. Okay. Who's the biggest corporate client you might have had that we would know?
Our firm, Kurt and I did a lot for Dunnigan Brothers. We did a lot for Miller Tool and Die, Miller Truck and Storage.
Being nosy, Circums.
I don't remember doing stuff for Circle. Couple companies that I help get going. What was the t-shirt place out on Ann Arbor Road? They changed the name.
Oh, geez.
Ray and Kelly Hines owned it.
Yeah, I don't.
I helped set that company up. Stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I can't
So-
remember.
5 years you're at the first office, 9 years you're at the next. That's
Yep.
14 years. Your kid's what, 17 at this point? How was growing? How was
See.
from the dad?
Well, my daughter was born in 95.
Okay.
So
I'm not good at math.
yeah. Oh, they were good. I mean, like, especially my daughter, she's the oldest. When she was little, I mean, I read law books to her because I had to study.
Yeah.
So you try to make that interesting for them, but you're trying to study too.
Yeah.
But she said she could still remember sitting on my lap reading constitutional law.
Man.
That's actually really cool. I'm
Yeah,
the
that
same
is cool.
age, and my mom was in nursing school and would read medical
Mhm,
textbooks to me.
yeah.
So
I guess from the dad's perspective, from your perspective, clearly your kids will have different view of growing up with a dad that's a lawyer. But how do you feel like you were as a dad growing up as a lawyer, like raising them? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Probably way more protective than I should have been.
Yes, sir.
One, but two, I was also my daughter's hockey coach.
Okay.
I also coached my son's team for a little while, but we got to travel a lot and spend a ton of time together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yep. I assumed that was the answer. I still wanted that. How the heck do you get swindled into becoming a judge?
Circumstance. So there was the judge before me was removed for misconduct.
Okay.
And I was making a good living, just working, keeping my head down, working, doing whatever. And some of the other judges from circuit court approached me and said, "We think you should put your name in." Actually, let me back up. Judge retired in circuit court. Some of the judges came to me and said, "We think you ought to put your name in." And I'm like, "What? Are you kidding me?"
Mm.
And they're like, "No, we're serious. We think you should put your name in for that circuit court position." So I said, "All right, well," I filled out the application and sent it in. And next thing I know, I got a call from the state bar. They want to interview me.
Oh, wow.
So you go through the interview process, which was because they do a deep dive background. They talk to everybody. And you go in there, and the interview was me sitting at a table with 20 people firing questions about your past, about how you feel about the law, this, that, the other thing.
Okay.
Then I made it to the second round,
Mhm.
and that was an interview with the governor's staff.
Oh, geez.
And so I go in and meet with them, and I did not get selected. They selected Judge LaFlamme,
Okay.
who runs the business court up there, and that was probably the best choice.
Decent guy to lose to, it seems like, as well. So,
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
yeah.
I immediately wrote the governor and said, "Hey, while I'm disappointed that I didn't get this, I thank you so much for the opportunity, but you picked the right guy."
Yep.
He is the right guy for that spot. Then a judge got removed for misconduct in district court.
Okay.
So the same judge that encouraged me to apply contacts me again and says, "Put your name back in."
Yep.
So I put my name back in, had to go through the whole process over,
Jeez.
but I got selected.
Awesome.
And then I had to rerun, just like Judge Hughes is doing.
Yep.
I had to rerun for the remainder of the term. And then no one's ever challenged me since. So
Yeah, I clearly have a lot of questions about you being a judge, but before I get, how often does your seat come up for re-election?
every 6 years.
Every 6 years.
So I've got 4 years left in this term, and then I'll run again for.
Awesome. And nobody's ran against you. So do you think in terms of like, because you're that great, or Because honestly, I think you're a fair OWI. Like, I truly believe that. I think a lot of Jackson County believes that. So do you think that's some of it, that they think you're just a good fit? You know, why do it?
I hope they think it's because I'm a good fit. I mean, I try to treat people with respect, and you know, coming into court is not a pleasant experience for most people.
Yep. Yeah.
So you try to be empathetic. It's always been my opinion, if you do a good job and you treat people well, nobody's going to run against you because it's too darn expensive.
Yes, sir.
So I'm working on that theory. I'm hoping nobody changes that.
It seems like a lot of people like climbing through the ladder. Do you have any aspirations to ever go to circuit court? Okay.
No.
Okay.
And because we get paid the exact same amount of money.
Okay, fair enough.
We don't do divorces.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to send somebody to prison.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
It's hard enough putting somebody in jail.
Let alone prison. No kidding.
Usually when I put them in jail, they've earned it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They normally do.
But yeah, I don't want to put some, no interest.
Understood. Who were the judges when you became judge?
Judge Grant, who I used to be terrified to go in front of, and I was doing civil stuff. Excellent judge.
Yeah.
But he didn't play any games in the courtroom.
Mhm.
Judge Schmucker, Judge Nelson.
Yep.
And Judge Perlos.
Awesome.
Yep.
And Judge Nelson was the head of recovery court then, correct?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, it's crazy because when I was appointed judge, a lot of people in Jackson were like, in the courthouse, were like, who's this? Because I didn't do a lot of practice in Jackson County. My practice was all over the state.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I rarely was in Jackson County District Court, hardly ever. I was either in circuit court in Jackson County or in courts in Lenawee, you know, in Coldwater, in Detroit, Lansing.
Did you feel like you had to prove yourself?
I feel like I have to do that every day.
Fair enough.
You know,
Yeah.
You can't take it for granted. I mean, people are coming to you to make important decisions, whether it's a landlord-tenant case or whether it's they're going to go to jail or not. So it's, you gotta.
So 15 years of being a judge.
Yep.
So how does the docket look for you? Because you are the OWI judge, but I know that you have to get other things.
Actually,
right?
I mean, so Judge Hughes runs the specialty court for the domestic violence.
Okay.
So she primarily takes, that's 90% of her docket.
Okay.
We don't give her any traffic tickets. We don't give her, I'm the chief judge, so I kind of control the dockets, but so she gets all the DV stuff. She will still get felonies like murders and OWI thirds and things like that, but we try to limit how many she gets only because that domestic violence docket is just swamped.
Yeah.
Judge Jakey runs the mental health specialty court. Now that's
awesome.
I love that.
Yeah. We really are appreciative that you guys brought that back.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, Judge Claren did a wonderful job with it. It just funding started to become a problem. There were some other issues, and you know, he asked me to take it. I was not ready to do that.
Gotcha.
So it went away for a little while. And as soon as Judge Jakey came in, I went to him and said, "Hey, you want to?" He says, "Absolutely, I want to do a mental health court."
Awesome.
Because that's his wheelhouse.
Okay.
And so, but he maintains, because it's still growing, so he maintains a similar docket to mine. And then Claren and mine, Judge Claren and my dockets are pretty similar, but essentially, so I handle, on Mondays is my civil day.
Okay.
Landlord, tenant, dog bites, contract disputes, things like that. Afternoons, I have city pretrials, could be tickets, drunk drivings, whatnot, things like that. Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Tuesday is my state day. That's all the county or state tickets, county crimes, state crimes. Wednesday is my sentencing day, and my settlement conference day for jury trials. And then Thursday is my, again, in the mornings, we do all the felony stuff. And then in the afternoons, we do all the township stuff. Okay. Fridays are reserved for Mornings are reserved for jury trials if necessary or bench trials.
Mhm.
And then the afternoon is when we handle all the first meetings for felonies.
And felonies just bound up.
Correct.
Okay, that's what.
Did you think you were going to end up being a judge in your hometown?
Never even crossed my mind.
Okay.
Awesome. Just to mix it up and then we'll go back.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
could have dinner with anybody in history, who would you have dinner with and why?
Probably my grandfather. My dad's dad. Yeah. He died when I was 9. Never really got to know him.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Awesome.
What would you have for dinner?
Oh, I'd make probably some type of an Italian meal, my Sunday sauce, meatballs, Italian sausage, that kind of stuff.
There isn't nothing in the world a meatball can't fix.
Mhm.
Just saying.
I'm guessing you're Italian.
People ask, I really don't know. I know there's a little town in England named Goostery.
Okay.
My daughter was just in England a couple weeks ago, and she was in London for a conference. And I said, you ought to go up there, but it was too far away. It was like 4-hour trip.
Yeah.
4-hour trip. She couldn't go. So I do know there's some heritage in England and also Irish,
Mhm.
but
Don't know.
it's not. Nah, I'm American.
Yeah,
That's what
I
my
get-
dad
yes,
always
sir.
used to
Yep.
say. I'm an American.
Yep.
Mhm.
So dockets really are just luck of the draw. So like I believe in God, so I got you because I feel like anybody else would not have. I feel like my life could have been different if it wasn't you on my docket.
Well-
Is it just a stroke of luck that we get good judges, or
No, I appreciate that. But
Yeah.
so the way it works is the dockets are a blind draw,
Okay.
unless you already have a pending case with me.
and that's how I got second and third. And okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
So that's how it works.
Okay, so the first one was luck. The second and third because I already knew you, or because I already. Okay, that makes sense. I always wondered that because
No, I
because
said I want him to bring his ass here.
Well, after the first one, I'm sure, but I was like, well, after other people in jail, joking, but it's like Goostery was the most fair. I mean, but I hope we get Goostery, and then if you're going for,
I hope that doesn't mean I'm too easy.
no, well, maybe you need to ramp it up. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But same with the public defender's office. It was like there was a couple public defenders. They'd work just as hard for you, free as if you paid them. So we wanted to pull Hopkins and Kirkpatrick. That was always the two you wanted to pull if you couldn't afford anybody.
Right.
So that it was just kind of the same. Goostery was fair.
I think
That was the thought.
I think I would have paid good money to see young you in court.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
You would have hated me, man.
No, was I hard on you?
No,
I
not at
didn't
all.
give you a dad talk or yell at you?
Well, you gave me a stern talking to number 2 and 3. The third one, you sent me to jail, which
Yeah.
I had it coming.
Sure. Like I say, usually in my courtroom, you got to earn it.
Yeah. Oh no, so I went in front of you for my first DUI. I wasn't even 21. I was 18. Patrick Bolter pulled me over, gave me a DUI. You released me, PR bond. Well, whatever. I get a
standard.
PR bond,
Yeah,
standard,
sure.
right? Second DUI a week later, come in front of you. What the F, Mr. McDermott? What are you doing? Get your act together pretty much. We're against my better judgment. I'm going to give you a $5,000 cash surety PR bond. Sure as shit, a week later, back in front of you for number 3. You said, I have to send you for 10 days to jail. You got to get your act together. And unfortunately, I can't help you anymore. You got to go up to circuit court. It's a felony. And then that was with all the other stuff from Napoleon that I was already getting in trouble for anyways. So, but yeah, no, nothing but good things to say about you. But I just feel like if it wasn't you, my trajectory, because you helped me get the deal with Pittman and then Judge Jordan, and however it worked, I felt like you did more behind the scenes that I don't know about, but you might not have. But Pittman and Jared Jarzinka, you and then Judge Jordan had a hand in me not going to prison. And,
Well, that's a good thing.
Yep. And then I got recovery court and didn't screw up, no sanctions, no nothing.
That's a wonderful
Yep.
program.
Yeah, it is. And I went back to drinking like an idiot, but never got in trouble after that. I went back to drinking. But if that seed wasn't planted, man, like I was just this close to getting in trouble again, and I quit.
There was
Like that.
that close to getting in trouble again out of Hillsdale County though. When we were together, it was like within the first year we were married, and that's where I started seeing that it really was a huge problem, even though he had told me about all that other
Yeah.
stuff prior.
Yeah.
So
But no, you I don't try to stroke egos. Like really, I don't. But I owe a lot to you. Just like I said to Jordan, just like I said to Chief Pittman, when all of them sat on that side of the table. I mean, seriously, prisoner to painter would mean something totally different. It would not be this. It would not be stories of redemption. It would be me getting out of prison, and I probably wouldn't even be doing this. So it just means something totally different.
Okay, so you've been a judge for coming up on 15 years. You did not expect it. It was something that you said circumstance just kind of fell into it. What are you painting? So you were a prisoner to being shy.
Yep.
What are you painting for Jackson, yourself, your family coming up in the future?
Well, everybody keeps asking me when I'm going to retire. I'm not ready to retire. My wife taught for 34 years at East Jackson.
What's her last name? Is it Goostery?
Yeah.
How did I not have her? Me and her both went to East Jackson.
I went for a year. I went for a half a year.
Sorry. But yeah, we both went.
She taught at Bertha Robinson for
that's
ever.
why. No,
My
that's
little
why.
brother probably had her.
I didn't go to Berth. I went to the high school. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So she retired. This has been 3 years, and you're going on her third year of retirement. So everybody keeps, well, when you retire, I'm too young to retire. I don't want to retire yet. I still love my job. So I plan on doing that for a while. Like to go see we're going to see our daughter this weekend. So that'll be fun. But I don't get to see my kids a lot because they both live out of state. But I don't know, just keep doing what I do, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Sure, we got a lot of love.
Has there been any case that you just hold on to from being a judge that, bad or good?
The worst ones are the criminal sexual conduct with kids. That is something you can't, because as a judge, you have to watch the videos, you have to see the photos, and you have to listen to a 9-year-old girl say what happened, or a boy. And that is really, really hard to shake sometimes. Probably early on as a judge, the weirdest one, it was a young man who had severe mental issues. He was in custody on something else, not in front of me. I got him after he committed the crime, but essentially he went home and murdered his mother, and they found him in the bathtub with her, and he was eating her intestines.
Oh no!
I think I know what you're talking about.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Holy.
That.
Yeah. Yep.
You don't.
Yeah.
Something you have to laugh because it's just, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Yep. I don't want to stay on that subject too long, but I got to ask. I went on a ride along in Napoleon. Chief Pittman set me up with a younger guy, Jake. It was awesome. Pull up. I don't know how he ran the guy's plate or ran his name or however it worked. Guy CSC. He's out on bond for it. Something pretty. I don't know how he could tell. He didn't tell me, but he just. However they told, the dude was in trouble for CSC, out on bond or whatever. Right for a 5-over, just straight down the board, not one way or the other. And I asked him, I said, man, how do you, I
remain unbiased?
I'm the type of guy, break his tail light, pull him out of the car, and beat the crap out of him. That's why I'm not a cop. But so how do you stay unbiased and fair like he did? Because that takes control like most people don't have, I guess.
Well, in the beginning as a judge, it was hard because as an attorney, you advocate for your client's side and you dig in and you do everything you can for your client. Yeah. So you have a strong opinion, you have a strong position, and you advocate for that. As a judge, you have to take that hat off, put on your referee shirt, and just have to sit back. And while you may hear testimony that absolutely disgusts you, you just have to, okay, well, that's, a factor, that's a factor.
Yep.
I start like when we do, whether it's a trial or whether it's a exam for a felony, I always have a legal pad in front of me and I take notes, and I'm just making sure that all the elements have been met and you just try to disassociate from everything else.
Gotcha.
You can't let it get to you. I mean, you can't take sides. You just can't.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
So a couple people that this is what I was super happy about. You're fair. You're not one way or the other. There's some judges you go in front of, you know you're getting jailed. You're fair and understanding. You listen. Tracy Bieber.
Yeah.
Yep. So I've been waiting for this. I adore Judge Goostery. Jeff Team. Always appreciated Judge Goostery. Both times I appeared in his courtroom during my addiction, he was understanding and fair.
And we got Rick Bader.
Yep. And then I had Judge Goostery's wife as a teacher in kindergarten. My buddy Cody says. So
Tracy, special story. She was in front of me multiple times, much like you were. Similar time frame too,
Yeah.
if I remember right.
Yep, we ran through recovery court together.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I had to get after her more than once, but she turned out really well.
Yep. And you're changing people's lives, man. And that led me right into it. I asked Pittman after 40 years, you don't think about it anymore. I know he doesn't. I said, I will talk about you until I die. People will hear Chief Pittman's name after you die. You have changed so many people in Jackson. Did that ever cross your mind that people, like the way I talk about you, the way Tracy clearly talked, did that ever cross your mind?
You know, when I see you guys, that's just that moment in time, and it's a bad point in your life. And I hope what I do makes a difference. You don't know. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
You know, I can tell you, I hadn't thought about you in a number of years, and then 2 years ago?
Yep.
We were down at the car show.
Yes, sir.
And my cousin has some cars that he shows down there, so we always go down with them. And we were walking out of Dirty Bird, I think it was. We'd had dinner, we're walking out, and I see this scruffy guy just staring at me, standing on the sidewalk. And I gotta admit, I was a little like, holy shit, this is somebody that knows me. And
that you don't want them to know you, right?
well, that I thought, oh, he's pissed at me about something.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked past you, didn't say a word.
Yep.
And then, I don't know, we crossed paths about 5 minutes later.
I made sure
And-
we crossed
and
paths.
I remember this
And I
day.
told Peg, my wife, I said, oh shit, Peg, something's going down here. And as soon as you opened your mouth, I knew who you were.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's funny because I said, I'm saying hi to him before we leave. So the circle back 5 minutes later was me deliberately trying to run into you.
Yeah.
Again, 'cause
Well, those are the things that I love.
yes, sir.
You know, one time I'm pumping gas, South Street there at the Buddies, I'm pumping gas, and there's a guy pumping gas next to me, and he's staring at me, and I'm going, oh no, this isn't going to be good. And he goes, are you Judge Goostery? I'm like, yeah. He says, you put my son in jail. Thinking, oh boy, here it comes. He says, I want to shake your hand. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Because you never know.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask that. Clearly, judges don't wear on their sleeves where they live for obvious reasons.
Mhm.
Do a lot of judges not live in the town or stuff like that?
You have to live in the county. that
You
you're
have to live
serving.
in the county.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to be a resident. You have to be
Okay.
able to vote in that county. Yeah.
Gotcha. I was just like Judge Grant is always what sticks out to me. A lot of people don't like him for maybe some obvious
He's the
reasons.
nicest man you'll ever meet.
I've heard that outside the courtroom.
Isn't he in the Guinness Book of World Records?
Did they say that for the most years sentenced? So yeah.
I don't know. But I'll tell you, he is outside of the courtroom, absolute nicest man you'll ever meet.
We know his daughter, and we made the joke.
She's fabulous.
Mandy had a kid, and Mandy's telling me the story. This before I knew Judge Grant was her dad. Mandy's telling me the story, and Grandpa wouldn't let I forget her kid's name, wouldn't let the kid eat in the car, yada yada. Grandpa just doesn't want food in his truck. And then she says who her dad's name is, and that makes sense. That's all I thought that makes sense. And I just thought that was funny, man. Wow, yeah. Sorry, I lost where I was going, man. This has been great, Judge Goostery, seriously. So from that law firm to this law firm, I feel like I didn't ask enough, man. How old are your kids now, and how successful feeling do you feel that they probably graduated high school and went on to whatever they're doing?
Well, both of them are a heck of a lot smarter than me. They get all their smarts from their mom. So our daughter is 30, and she moved to Massachusetts to go to college. She played Division I hockey in college.
Wow,
And she never came home.
That's
She loves the East Coast.
awesome.
She working on her doctorate degree, but she works at Boston University.
Awesome.
She's a program manager for the CTE study with the NFL.
Okay. Wow.
So she's wicked smart.
Yeah, no kidding,
yeah.
dude. Wow.
And our son he's going to be 28 next week. He graduated from Western Michigan University and moved to Dallas he was down in Dallas for 3 years working for a company called Gartner. He's a sales and marketing consultant. And got a promotion and transferred. He now lives in Chicago.
Awesome.
So just north in Lincoln Park area. So we get to see him a little bit more than we get to see our daughter. Just because, my wife, she's retired. She can go anytime she wants. But
did that ever play a role when sentencing people? I didn't realize that your son's age and Tracy about your daughter's age. Did that ever become a conflict that you might have had to check?
Like a bias,
Like a
unconscious.
bias. Yeah.
I try to treat young defendants like a dad sometimes. You give them the dad. I don't know if I gave you the dad speech. You're 19 years old, time to be a man.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, you're still living at home, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
So I don't reference it often, but there are times I'll get some young defendants, like a drunk driver, and I'm like, you're my son's age. You should, come on, it's time to grow up. Type of a thing.
Yep. How has justice changed throughout the years for you? Your idea of justice.
You stole my question.
I know I did. You're welcome.
That's a tough one. I mean, they've changed a lot of things. There's now a presumption on all drunk drivers that if it's a first offense and there's no accident and the alcohol level was not obscene, that it's presumed to be fines and costs.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if I like that because, you get a first offense and somebody's really in a drinking problem. Mm-hmm. And the only reason that they're in front of you is because it's the first time they got caught, and maybe they drove a bunch of times and just never got caught.
Yeah.
I would like the ability to say, no, we're going to get you in some counseling and do that. But now with this presumption, the defense attorneys, to their credit, it's a presumption, Judge. You got to overcome that presumption. Yeah. And if I find a good reason, I can do that. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just feel like I like to try to help people. I mean, heroin was horrible early on in my career. It went back and forth from heroin to meth. Now it's back to meth. And then I heard cocaine's coming back in. Mm-hmm. And anybody that does a street drug is playing Russian roulette.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are.
Because of the fentanyl.
Period.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which is wild because that came on quick.
Yes.
That came on very quick and seemingly out of nowhere.
It's scary.
So I fell into the category of, I just assumed Judge Goostery just always as a judge. You were a pilot. You, worked for your dad. There's a lot of stuff besides just you being in law, like you're in a band, stuff like that. So before I ask our wrap-up questions, is there anything you want to tell us that people might not know about you?
Is you as a person, not as a judge?
Yes.
Despite being a pilot, I am scared to death of heights. No, I don't like being on ladders. I don't like being on roofs. No way. Hot air balloon, forget it. Not doing it.
Awesome.
But an airplane doesn't bother me at all.
How did you find out you had a voice? Because you kill it, man. You really do.
I started playing the drums when I was probably 9 years old. My older sister was in band as well. She was a percussionist, and my father had bought her a drum set. I always wanted to play the saxophone.
Okay.
My parents now are like, no, you're a drummer.
Yeah.
And the band director, who was at the time in school, he says, no, you're a drummer. Your sister's a drummer. You're a drummer. Yeah. So I never got a choice. Okay. And I started playing. So our band is made up of myself, my cousin, Herb Flowers, our lead singer, my cousin, Cindy Ballou, our lead guitar player, Johnny Trammell, and our bass player, Rafe Tenney. And I have been playing with my cousin Herb, our rhythm guitar player, since I was probably 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
Just messing around in his garage and stuff like that. And we all started playing together in 2007.
Okay.
So that's when we formed the band and started playing out. So yeah, I mean, I always sang when I was a little kid and stuff like that. I don't know, everybody sings to the radio and stuff like that, right? I don't know.
Okay.
I was in a couple musicals in school too, but yeah.
That surprises me.
Yeah, which ones?
God,
And who'd you play?
Hopkins said that
South
too.
Pacific.
Okay.
I was my sister was in high school, so I was in like 6th grade maybe. And they talked me into going to audition, and I got the part of one of the children of Emile Beck. You ever seen South Pacific? Great musical.
He's not a fan.
You and Jared, you both surprised me with that. Jared was also a theater kid. That just
I wasn't really a
me.
theater kid.
Oh, you just happened to
They
be in a
taught me into
play.
doing it, but just one.
Okay. Well, now you got to have something to bond over next
Yeah.
time you see each other. Man, this has been great. Seriously, I hope whoever, we've had steady viewers. I really hope whoever was watching, I learned a lot more about you. And
Well,
and you're not just Judge Goostery. You're I'll never say it besides this time. You're also Daniel Goostery. So
thank you.
yeah, you'll
I
always be
appreciate
Judge
that.
Goostery to me. Oh man, it just don't sound right. Coming from my mouth, so our wrap-up questions are all the same between
Sure.
every single person. That's how we keep like a
Consistency.
we keep everybody. So now the alcoholic who got sober now got to ask the same questions as the judge. I feel like it's equal amongst everybody. So
Mhm.
what is your definition of success?
Being able to look in the mirror
Yes, sir.
and be satisfied with who you are.
What does legacy mean to you?
Family.
Mhm.
Is there anything I didn't ask that I should have? Is there anything when I invited you on, you said, man, I really want to talk about that, and I might not have got to it?
My band's playing September 2nd,
Okay.
Grass Lake,
Okay.
at the amphitheater out there. What's it called? Music in the Park. 6 to 8:30.
Okay.
Bless you.
Thank you twice. September 2nd, out at the Grass Lake, music in
Music in the Park.
Music in the Park. What time?
6 to 8.
I think 6 to 8:30.
Perfect. Well, we'll be there. Yeah, put that in.
I'm doing that. If you had one word to describe your entire journey from where you started to where you are now, what would that one word be?
Fortunate.
Okay.
Awesome.
Here.
Yep.
I'm alive.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I don't want to forget.
If you now met younger you, would you get along with him, and vice versa, would he get along with you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was a bit of a hell raiser in high school, but probably would have had to give myself one of those stern talkings I gave to you.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I think we get along.
Okay.
Awesome. Before I cut the camera, I got same to Nicole,
Oh.
same to you. The shirt, Story
Awesome.
Save Lives.
That's
in
great.
My land. Yes,
No, I
sir.
appreciate that.
Of course, we yep.
Oh
Story Save
yeah, I
Lives.
like that.
Yes, sir.
Where's your pen?
Yep, it's over there. And then I'll cut the camera and I'll ask you to sign my table after.
Okay.
All
thank
right.
you.
Yes. Thank
Oh,
you
it's
so
my
much.
pleasure. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank
All
you
right.
guys.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah.
That concludes today's episode. Until next time, it's Prisoner to Painter.
Ain't no way that you can stop this. Turning back is not an option. Remember, I was down bad, homeless, addicted. My story so sad. You wanna change, gotta make it change. See the change, gotta be the change. Went from prisoner to painter. Manifest my life, I no longer live in anger. No way you can stop it, turning back is not an option. No way you can stop it, turning back is not an option. No way you can stop it, turning back is not an option. Went from prisoner to painter, now I feel so accomplished.